We got one more story I want to go over here, Stephen, and this one's a fun one, so hang tight. We're going to be with you in a second. Because first, Kevin Durant, well, you know him. He might be one of the greatest basketball players alive, but when it comes to Bitcoin, he basically pulled a I forgot my password speed run that lasted over a decade. Back when he joined the Golden State Warriors, Durant started watching crypto seminars on YouTube and decided to buy some Bitcoin. It was trading somewhere in the $360 to $1,000 range at the time. He figured that was something that could last. And then he and his business partner, Rich Kleiman, promptly lost access to his Coinbase account. Been there. They couldn't sell, they couldn't trade, they couldn't even touch it. Most people would call that a nightmare. Well, but in Bitcoin, it's called accidental hodling. Over the years, the coins just sat there quietly compounding in value. Kleiman admitted they never figured out how to recover the account, but said Bitcoin keeps going up, so it only benefited us. And now, thanks to a viral CNBC panel where Durant mentioned the lost account, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong decided to put on his cape and play superhero. He announced on X that he pulled some strings and fixed Durant's account recovery. Quote, "We got this fixed. Account recovery complete," which means Durant now officially has access to Bitcoin he bought for hundreds that is now worth over 13K per coin. Some reports say he bought closer to $650 a piece. Nice. And at today's price, that one coin is sitting at around 113K. So yeah, Durant's locked account turned into one of the best investments of his entire career. For a guy with $500 million in career earnings, it's not exactly life-changing, but it is proof that sometimes the best Bitcoin strategy isn't day trading, it's forgetting your password and letting number go up. All right, we're bringing Stephen back. Stephen, Kevin Durant accidentally pulled off one of the greatest hodl strategies ever. Lose access to your Coinbase account for a decade and then check it and see what number's at next. What does this story say to you about Bitcoin's long-term value? From 650 to 113 in like 10 years? I mean,
so many fun takeaways
good, right?
from this one. It's funny.
Yeah.
It turns out that losing access to your Bitcoin and then rediscovering that access over a decade later is a super strategy. You're going to outperform every other asset that you've got, and all of your friends too. So I am glad that Kevin Durant was able to recover access to his Bitcoin. I think it'd be a lot of fun to get some insights. I don't know if KD or his guy Rich are up for some transparency, but it'd be fun to know if that ended up being one of the best investments, maybe the best investment in Kevin's portfolio for that time period. Have to imagine that it might be on top. And I think another important takeaway is, the way in which they got it back, right? So luckily, Kevin is a high profile individual. And so you're locked out of your Coinbase account. He's got connections and visibility to get in touch with the right people. And Brian and company did the right thing and got him his Bitcoin back. So that's great. And there's a happy ending, but there are many quieter instances around the world where individuals get locked out of exchanges or exchanges go bust and who knows what happens, and they lose access to their Bitcoin. So counterparty risk is real, and it really drives home the importance of one of the mantras in Bitcoin, right? Not your keys, not your coins. And so step one is get some price exposure to this asset, even if that means trusting a custodian. But don't stop there. Keep learning, keep leveling up. And over time, if you're comfortable, you can take possession of the asset yourself. And there are great companies out there that can make that easy. And then you'll be in a place where nobody else can lock you out of your account. And that's really unique when it comes to Bitcoin relative to other assets.
Yeah. And this story I find particularly interesting because at one hand, it's a great PR piece for Bitcoin and number go up, right? A high profile athlete coming out of the woodwork saying, hey, I bought some here, look where it adds now. People love that narrative. But it also highlights something else that's a problem in the space, right? And that is the UX challenges that still exist and I think are acting as a barrier to entry for a lot of people of getting into the space, because the UX and the UI, while it's better than it had been previously, can still be very intimidating to a lot of people. The wallet, sending it to the wrong wallet address. I remember when I first got into the space, it was very nerve-wracking. So when you hear stories like this, do you think this is a good PR story for Bitcoin in the sense that it highlights number go up, or is it something we should really be kind of honing in on the challenges that still persist in the space and how we can fix those going forward to make adoption easier for the masses?
Love the question, Hank, and I think it's both. I think it is fun and inspirational, and it's a good reminder that Bitcoin is for athletes. Bitcoin is for everyone. Russell Okung really paved the way with his thought leadership around the Pay Me in Bitcoin movement. He was formerly an NFL player for the Chargers, and famously took half or more of his salary in Bitcoin many years ago, back around 2020. And now you've got Saquon Barkley coming out and doing similar things, and Kevin Durant recovering access to his Bitcoin. So I think it's really positive in that it drives home that, again, Bitcoin's not just for Wall Street, not just for Silicon Valley, it's for everyone. But at the same time, I think it is an important reminder, and we should take it as a call to action as builders in the space, as educators in the space, that we need to continue making this easier. And it is much easier today to buy Bitcoin and to safely hold it than it was 5 years ago, especially 10 years ago. But it's not good enough. And we can't stop. We have to continue building solutions, building software, building hardware to make sure that every profile of individual and entity around the world can use this in a way that is not going to be overly risky and is not going to be intimidating to them. So whether it is corporations, nation states, obviously at Castle, we are focused on that day to day with small and medium businesses. So our platform is purpose built to try to make it simple to get going so that you don't need to figure out all of the technicalities of storage and so forth on day one. But as you learn more and you progress, then you'd have the option to self-custody. And so there's that path there forward. And I think it's exciting to see entrepreneurs attack all of these different sectors and build solutions in them.